long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Wait. Fast forward. In the year 2115, life as we know it will completely change. We'll travel to the outer limits of space and time. Blast off in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Comet, I need to ask you about something.
Are you going to ask me how being in space in the year 2115 can be so awesome?
Not exactly.
Oh, okay, then what?
When I was making my rounds as the H-Tech earlier, I peeked into the cryogenic cooling room, and I noticed that the plasma recyclers are not being rotated regularly.
Were you even speaking English just now?
Basically, you guys have a room that stays colder than cold. This is where the plasma recyclers are stored. They are rods that have fuel for your space station inside. You have to rotate these every couple of hours to keep the fuel pumping.
Why? This literally makes no sense to me.
If the recyclers aren't rotated, then eventually the fuel in the rod will freeze. And when you try to rotate a new one into place, it'll be frozen, and the space station will immediately shut down.
All that can happen just because we weren't rotating some plasma recyclers?
Yes, you won't see the effects right away. It could take months for the fuel to freeze permanently, but the path this space station is on right now is pretty destructive. If something doesn't change soon, everyone on this space station will be in grave danger.
So what should we do about it?
We need to tell someone. I can teach them the right ways to rotate the recyclers, but I just don't know who to talk to.
I bet that would be something for Dr. Platt. She's the one in charge of the lab on the space station.
Okay, why don't you go find her and tell her, and I'll go get the supplies together to teach her how to rotate the cylinders. I also need her to gather a core team who can be in charge of this.
Yeah, sure.
All right, I'll meet you back here in 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, totally. Meet you here in 10 minutes. I think all this time travel to space has actually messed with Sam's head. How can someone from the year 2019 time travel to 2115 and tell us how to run a space station? He hasn't ever even seen a space station. Plus, I don't even like Dr. Platt. Every time I talk to her, she pinches my cheeks and tells me that if I stopped sabotaging my mind with games and sugar, I can make the next contribution to science. Psh! No one needs to teach the scientists on board how to do anything. They're fine. What about, instead of going to talk to Dr. Platt, I just go to the dining hall and see if they have any extra dessert capsules from lunch today. Yeah, I like that plan.
Well, Comet isn't here. I guess I am a little early. I was running pretty fast. I'll just have to run back through my list and make sure I have everything. Okay, I've got my work gloves to keep my hands warm inside the cooling room. I've got my goggles to keep my eyes from freezing shut. I've got the claw to touch the recyclers with. And yep, I've got all the tools I need. Done.
Oh man, that was good. I love a good chocolate cheesecake supreme with extra ice cream. Delish.
Comet, you did go talk to Dr. Platt, right?
Unless Dr. Platt is a chocolate cheesecake, then no, I'd not. But I did see her from far away while I was eating my dessert.
Comet, this is very important. I need you to talk to Dr. Platt right away. The plasma recyclers are starting to freeze, and we need to teach the scientists the right way to rotate them.
Rotate, smotate. I just think that if we haven't shut down yet, we probably won't. This space station has been going just fine for years.
Exactly. The longer it's been in orbit, the worse off we are. The recyclers have had too much time to freeze already.
I think you're overacting, Sam. This is not a big deal.
It is a big deal, It's a huge deal. If someone doesn't teach these scientists the right way to do this, everyone could be in danger.
Sam. Let me teach you about a little something that we do in the future called relaxing.
I know what relaxing is, Comet.
Then you should do it. Join me. We can watch a new episode of Guy, the superhero of the future. Hey, what's going on?
I figured as long as you were sitting there relaxing, you could watch something useful.
How did you do that? How did you change what I was watching?
You have to remember who you're talking to. I invented these things, remember? I just overrode the telecommunication system on your Zapbot using my data pack memory.
Okay. So what am I going to watch my Zapbot?
It's the story of someone who didn't want to go tell people about God's ways.
All right, let's see what this is about.
There was a man named Jonah who lived in Israel. God told Jonah to travel to a distant city called Nineveh. The people in Nineveh were not following God's ways. Instead, the people were following their own wicked ways. Jonah was going to tell them that God was angry with them and was going to destroy all of them. Jonah was supposed to teach them about God's good ways. But Jonah did not want to go all the way to Nineveh. The people there were enemies of Jonah's people, the people of Israel. Instead of going to Nineveh, Jonah went to the seaport and got on a ship that was headed to a place called Tarshish. Tarshish was the opposite direction from Nineveh.
Wait, time out. I'm so confused. What is Nineveh? Who is Israel? And what kind of a ship is this Jonah guy riding on that floats on water? What a strange vessel.
Oh boy. Let me try putting this in terms that you'll understand. Transpose story to 2115. There, see if it makes more sense now.
There was a man named Jonah who lived on the Xenon space station. One day God spoke to Jonah and said, "Go to the Klizon alien group. Tell them that they are not following my ways. Their ways are wicked, and if they continue, I will destroy them." God wanted Jonah to teach the Klizon aliens about the ways of God. Jonah didn't want to go, though. The Klizons were enemies of the Xenon space station. Instead of taking a pod launcher to the Klizon residence, Jonah jumped into a space shuttle that was headed back to Earth. However, on the trek back to Earth, the space shuttle ran into a really bad storm. The wind was blowing the space shuttle off course, and everyone on board was in danger of crashing. Jonah knew that he was being disobedient to God, so he told the members of the space shuttle to toss him out into space. They did what Jonah asked. At once, the storm was over, and the shuttle was able to travel safely. Jonah drifted farther and farther into space. God sent a giant space slug to come swallow Jonah. Jonah was safe inside the slug. For 3 days and nights, Jonah was inside the slug. God told the space slug to spit Jonah out at the Klizon residence. Jonah obeyed God this time and went to the Klizons. Jonah told them about God's ways. The Klizons turned from their wicked ways and started following God's ways. God did not destroy them. We know that God promises to teach us His ways, and He used Jonah to teach the Klizons.
That made so much more sense. So God used that Jonah guy to tell the people how to live the right way.
Exactly. God promises to teach us His ways. Sometimes He uses people. Other times He may even teach us through the Bible. And sometimes He sends relatives to a space station to tell other certain relatives what they should do.
All right, I get it. We need to go tell Dr. Platt and the scientists about the right way to rotate the plasma recyclers.
Attention, space station guests! We are experiencing some difficulties with our fuel. We are now running on backup generator power. Please stand by for further instruction.
Oh no, it's happening. We're going down. Mayday, Mayday. Houston, we have a problem. Take cover.
Comet, calm down. Breathe. There, all better. Don't worry. The generators will be powerful enough to give us fuel for a little while. We just have to go right now and find Dr. Platt so we can teach the scientists the right way to rotate the cylinders.
Okay, we can do this. I'm going to go ahead and call Dr. Platt on the Zapbot so she's ready for us to come down. Dr. Platt, hi. We need to talk.
Whew! We made it in just enough time. If they continue to rotate the recyclers, the fuel temperature should stabilize soon and the space station can run at normal functioning before long.
Uh-huh. You know what, Sam? I really only understand like 0.0000001% of what you're saying when you start talking science language.
Basically, we got there in time and there's nothing to worry about.
See? That was so much easier to say.
Sure. Anyways, I was wondering if we should try communicating with any of the other space stations to make sure that they're rotating their recyclers correctly.
That's a great idea. We can use my Zapbot to talk to them, or we can take one of the pod launchers to each space station and teach them the right way to rotate their recyclers as well.
Yes, well, I like the second idea. I think it's important for us to teach them the right way to do it.
There's only one problem.
What's that?
I haven't actually gotten my pod launcher license yet.
What do you have to do to get it?
Oh, you know, just drive one without crashing it.
You've crashed a pod launcher?
Not in real life, just in the flight simulator.
Oh man, what should we do?
I haven't attempted the flying test this month yet. I can try to get it again.
Okay, you go ahead. I need to go get some supplies. I gotta go get some supplies.
No. You're coming with me. You won't actually get hurt or anything. Plus, maybe give me some pointers on driving since you apparently found the right way to drive your time machine.
Okay. Do I get to wear a helmet? Seatbelt? Suit of armor, maybe?
Just come on. We can grab your supplies on the way. I'm feeling really good about this one. This might be the test that gets me that license.
If not, I'm driving. I'll take the test, and I'll get the license.
No need. I'm sure this is it for me. I've got this.
If you say so.
To dodge all the space junk flying your way. Jump up, duck down, lean left, lean right, and clap to fire. Here we go. space crew.